But then when you said "I love you," I was like, "Oh, not a good call, bro."
Yeah, it was cringeworthy, honestly. But you felt that secondhand embarrassment too.
She goes, "Could you give me a ride home?"
I'm telling you, it's
Yes.
it's a Ted Mosby.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
what
it is. Ted Mosby for sure. That's a good shout, Shimada. Oh man. Hear ye, and welcome to the Royal Geek Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Rollison, also known as T-Roll. And tonight I am joined by my very own Spider variants. First of all, we have Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy. We also have Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato. And of course, the landlord, Jordan Mosley, in the building. He owns it. You know he's there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to review Spider-Man Brand New Day. It is a Trial by Tomato review as well. For season 2, we got a lot to get into. Boys, it's good to see y'all. I'm fired up. You guys fired up?
Spider-Man, baby. Let's go.
What a movie. We will be reviewing it. Trust me, we will. But of course, because it is one of our Trial by Tomato films, we're going to talk about the current standings in season 2 of Trial by Tomato. Don't forget, you can go to trialbytomato.com and get in on the fun. It's still not too late, okay? You hit a tomato sniper on the next film, and you're in the top 10, okay? So just, you're still alive at this point. But anyways, let's talk about it. The line was set for this movie, this new Spider-Man film, at 77 and a half. You guys remember that?
We do.
Yeah.
70?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, Justin, do you remember? 77 and a half. And as of time at recording right now, this current moment in time on Rotten Tomatoes, the score is 90. So if you took the over, it was a smash play. We all knew that except for only half of the podcast. 15% of our participants went under. And of course, 2 of them had to be 2 of the original co-hosts of this show. So we'll get to that in a moment. 85% of our participants went over. Congratulations. A lot of people made big moves on this one. Literally only a few people took L's, and of course we're going to start with them. Justin Sandoval and Anthony Amato, 2 of the losers for this week, going under. Yep. I believe, Justin, you said 74, and Shamato, you said 72. Explain yourselves right now.
Oh, man. I don't know. Where do I begin? Honestly, it was my skepticism for a 4th sequel, and I don't know. Part of me was like, does Tom Holland still have the juice, man? Like he's aging out of the high school age, which he plays the angsty like high schooler with the high energy, like golden retriever energy, right? Like he plays that to perfection, and now he's transitioning over to this adulthood. How will we receive that, and what will that look like?
I mean, yeah, it was just it really was just like, okay, so how is this storyline going to work out? There's a lot of weird things happening with his transition in life. And I think we're still a little bit, although we've been saving a lot, Marvel's back. We are a little bit, I think, a little more wary as we're looking around, at the landscape. But there's always a chance that something will falter nowadays.
I mean, they renewed Wonder Man and then canceled Wonder Man. Like it's just like we don't know the state right now that we're in, and that's kind of what the deal was.
It kind of yeah. Gosh, I have so much I want to say, but we're going to save it for the review. I'm just talking numbers for Trial by Tomato right now, but you guys are, most people. Most people went over. It's embarrassing. I got to say it, like there was a chance you guys would have looked like heroes, but instead you're zeros. Anyways, let's talk about the 85% of the people who went with the over. Technically, nobody got a tomato sniper. I think 2 weeks ago for the Odyssey, was it 4 people we had, which was crazy. That's got to be an outlier for us moving forward. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, but no. And this shows you the last movie we had 4 people get tomato snipers, which again is when you get the exact Rotten Tomatoes score correct, which is so impressive. But this week, nothing. Not a single person got a tomato sniper. There were some that were close. Okay. One in particular, again, the score was 90. So I have to give a very, very, very special shout out to my boy Chandler. Good friend of mine. I know you're listening to Chandler. He literally, he chose 89. He was so close. And because of that, Chandler, it's obviously still early in the season, but my brother, you just moved up to 4th place in the standings. He jumped 22 spots. 22 spots, guys.
Yeah.
So that just shows you when you get the pick right, which again Justin and Anthony did not do. When you get the pick right, and you're that close, boy, oh boy, you can really improve your standing, okay? So shout out to everyone who got it right. There were a few other people who were very close as well, but Chandler had actually the second biggest jump. There was someone called Mustard Pants, shout out Mustard Pants, who improved 23 spots, but he's further down than Chandler, okay? So let me run through just the standings. Because it's still early in the season, there are many people. I think there's like 12 people who have 4 points, and they're all tied for 9th place, okay? So it's kind of weird, but I will say there's a clear distinction between the top 8 right now. So I'm going to shout out the top 8. Coming in 8th place, there's 3 people on 5 points. So that would be my brother, Chris, shout out. Chuck Sawyer, shout out Chuck, another friend of the pod.
Yeah.
And then Tone as well. Tone, who's been on the pod as well. So there's those 3 guys are tied for 6th place. Okay, they're spots 6 through 8. And then we have 2 people. We mentioned Chandler earlier, and then another friend of mine, Josie, Outlaw Joe's, tied for 4th place. And then we have a 3-way tie for 1st place. Okay, so the top 3 all sitting on 7 points. Okay, that'd be Samuel. How do you say his last name again, Jordan?
Monkus.
Samuel Monkus. Our boy Chuck Powers.
Hey.
Both of our Chucks in the top 8.
Yeah,
Does that make you fired up?
Man,
That's
how
pretty cool.
do you know 2 Chucks in the first place? That's the more
exactly.
crazy thing.
And they're both in the top 8. Well done. And then Casey L as well. So those
One of
top
the boys
3.
I went to Vegas with.
Hey.
There you go. That's awesome. Those top 3, they all went over. They didn't really improve much. They went 80, 78, and 81, so they didn't get a lot of bonus points. But because they were so strong last week, they're sitting firmly in the top. So the last thing I want to share, we talked about Anthony and Justin, where they're at. Let's find out where I'm sitting and where Jordan. Jordan, you are in 9th place. You're tied for 9th place.
You conveniently just pick the top 8.
Genuinely,
I sitting there.
I promise you, I'm not lying. Honest to God, I did not mean to do that, but now it looks hilarious that I did that. Yeah, Jordan, you are one of the 12 people tied for 9th place right now. Okay, so you're.
So
sitting
he may
on 4
not
points.
actually be 9th place. He just may be.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
because it's so early. There's not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm right behind you. I'm at 3 points, so it gives you an idea. Like, Justin is way down there, but he's got.
Cool.
What do you have? 1 point.
I have to keep
Justin?
scrolling.
I know, I can't find you.
Yeah,
Let me
I think I'm 48th, I believe.
Yeah, but I have 2 points more than you. You know what I'm saying?
He's 40. He's 47. You're tied for 47.
Yeah, I'll take the 48th. I'll settle at 48.
Yeah.
Okay.
So technically, Amato, despite the bad result this week, and you did drop 14 places because you had such a strong showing last week, you technically are tied with Jordan.
Yeah.
Even though, Jordan looks like he's in 9th, and it looks like you're in 20th, but you guys have the same points. So again, there's so many ties. It's so early.
Early, yeah.
It's very early, which means
Usually-
nobody panic. There's still plenty of time.
It usually
and
takes
if you
about-
go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, usually takes about 4 movies, right? 4 movies to differentiate the pack. Usually.
Yeah, probably so. I'm not a numbers guy, but I'm sure something like that. So let me just say this again. You just stole my thunder, Justin, and now nobody's going to sign up. But all I was trying to say is it's not too late to play. If you want to get in on the action, seriously, you can start and play the last 8 films that we are going to do for Trial by Tomato for this season 2, and you can make up. The leader right now is sitting on 7 points, okay, the top 3. So it's still early. Go to trialbytomato.com, get your picks in. And it's not too late, okay? So
Yeah, you could literally start by missing 2 movies, just get 1 point, and be tied with Justin.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
you literally
Okay.
can. You literally can.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. Yeah,
That's rough.
yeah, that is pretty rough. But anyways, trialbytomato.com. Get your picks in. How about this, guys? This movie finished at a 90. So here's where we'll begin the official review part of our Spider-Man Brand New Day. So here's a spoiler warning, okay? If you're still listening now, be careful. But guys, do you feel like 90? I always like to do this on these Trial by Tomato reviews. You feel like 90 was a appropriate score after watching the film?
I think it was really appropriate. Maybe even a point or 2 higher than that would have been perfectly fine by me as well. I felt like they did an incredible job. I think most of our fears of like that Justin brought up of it being like, oh, it's the fourth movie in a franchise. Is it going to burn out? Is Tom Holland aging out? All those things, were potentially valid reasons for this movie to not work. But I felt like it hit all the right notes. It dealt with some things that Spider-Man hasn't really had to deal with quite yet. And it just like really was a solid showing and some great acting moments.
Yeah, well deserved 90. If anything, I would boost it 2 to 4 points. Like I think it was excellent movie.
Yeah.
90 is very fitting.
Yeah, I think when you look at like, I agree. I think 2 points probably higher. I mean, we saw it started off very strong, and as they kind of have been doing, you see it taper down a little bit. I mean, you've got audience score still at 98, which is very high.
Right. Yeah, totally.
I think they said like that's the highest Spider-Man like audience score there has been.
Yes, and it's 5,000 verified reviewers.
Yeah,
which
insane.
is insane.
How about that? Yeah, and truthfully, we always go off the critic score because that's the one that that's the famous thing. That's what Rotten Tomatoes is like known for. But by the time some people might listen to this in a couple weeks, it might go down to 88, 89, 88. Like it'll probably drop a few points. But as of tonight, when we record the podcast, we always record on Fridays. The score is officially at 90 at the moment. So I feel like 90 is good. I really enjoyed this film. Dare I say, is it the best Spider-Man movie I've seen?
Ooh, that's high praise.
You have seen them all,
know,
correct?
man. And I've seen them all.
That's a big.
He did leave that very open-ended.
Yeah. You're right. Best Tom Holland, well, really the best one, period, and I have seen all of them, yes. And I don't know yet. I want to see it a second time, but it's one of those movies that literally later in the day, and then now I saw it yesterday. Now today, I'm like, when can I go see this again?
Yeah.
So again, we're gonna have more of a formal review here, but I just want to say I think the 90 was really fair. I got really excited when I saw that was the score. And I'm not like, I don't know, Justin, it's funny you were saying about why you were a little nervous about it. Tom Holland, like, he plays the perfect angsty young kind of Spider-Man. It's like, this is the Spider-Man I want. The adult Spider-Man who's been through it. Like, I loved it. That's why, like, I really am really low on Homecoming because it was too angsty for me. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when Tom Holland was introduced, like, it was a good movie, but I wasn't crazy about it. Guys, like, this one was epic because it was epic. It didn't need a bunch of variant Spider-Men. It didn't need all this fan service. Like, No Way Home was incredible, but I feel like it was incredible because of all the amazing things that happened.
All the bells and whistles, man. That's what.
Yeah,
the fan service.
The fan service. This one didn't have fan service. I mean, it had some. It definitely had some, but man, it was just epic on its own. And I don't know, man. I'm excited to talk more about it. So
I was thinking about that today. I was like, who was the actual like villain? And like, in the other ones, it's very clear. Like, there's like, oh, this is the villain of the movie. Yeah. Obviously, Scorpion was in it, and there was, there wasn't just like that one villain with superpowers that they were, fighting off. So I thought that was kind of cool. It was just a different take on it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Gosh, there's so much to say. I want to keep us kind of in a linear flow this time, but there was a lot happening. Let's do this. I want to start with. Okay, let's start with the timing of this movie. You guys help me out here. Because one thing, right from the jump, I thought this entire movie was going to happen, like, while MJ and Ned were, like, in college. You know what I'm saying? And it does a 4-year time jump from the jump.
Yeah, right from the very beginning, they're going through the years of college, and he's just living this life in isolation, which is very painful to watch.
Yeah.
So, where are we? Like, is this 2020... Because on May's grave, it said she died in 2024.
So it's got to be at least 2028.
Got to be at least 2028, and maybe later, right? Because, I mean, was he a high school senior then? I don't remember in No Way Home how old he was.
I know they were I think they were seniors because they were applying for schools. Like, they were, like, trying to get in. He was... Like, the whole reason he was on the bridge when the Green Goblin showed up was because he was trying to get to the admissions officer who was at MIT. That's what he was. He was trying to talk to her.
That's right.
To try to get her to reconsider talking to reconsider taking Ned and MJ.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's my thing. So it's at least 2028, maybe even later, maybe 2029, depending on what time of year. So it's like this is where I can't remember where the events of Daredevil fall, the events of like what Doomsday is going to do. Like I understand Doomsday might be more outside of time, probably with Secret Wars too. But you guys have anything to say about that before we just talk about Tom Holland looking sad for 4 years?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I was as confused as you were.
It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about like I was loving it because I feel like they could have taken the easy path and just made everything that was going on just like, oh, it's gonna be all set within the couple weeks after, everything. By the end of it, it'll be tied up. Like 2 months in, it'll be tied up. He'll be, kind of have everything lined back up. But it was just. Like I sent you guys the text of just like 4 years of pain. That's what that was. That montage was just 4 years of Tom Holland's version of Spider-Man just losing his spark. Like
totally.
Like
no friends, no family, no community, no relationships. I mean, even the police. I don't know who was that detective. Like
DeWolf.
DeWolf. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
From the Bear.
Even DeWolf was calling him out. She's like, you're a loser, bro. Like, you need to get some family or friends or something. Go talk to somebody. Connect.
Yeah, he's like, I'm talking to you, and
she's like, we're friends, right?
She's like, what are my kids' names? He's like, one's Poppy or something. He's like,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, he's struggling, guys. And he's just he's like addicted to work, basically, like because it's all he has.
He's trying to distract himself from the life he's not able to live with his friends and MJ.
Yeah.
Like it's
and he's also just like punishing himself. Like I feel like his connection to social media. Well, I think his social media is he's like physically punishing himself by watching Ned and watching MJ. Like, so he isn't just completely pulling himself away from them. He is staying connected to them in a way that hurts him. It's like he's physically causing himself pain.
Yeah. By the way, him following Ned, and I love at one point MJ's like, "Who's even watching this? Why are you still doing this?"
Yes.
And like Ned probably has like so few followers, which here's the thing. People like that, if they have so few followers, they're going to know who those followers are. So like Peter must have like a fake account is what I'm trying to say, saying like it can't be his name.
Yeah, he's on a burner.
Very possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Maynard.
Yeah.
All right. So the first kind of issue of, that comes up here is this there's a stolen tank. So first of all, when he gets the report of a stolen tank going through Brooklyn or something, I was like, oh my gosh, a tank in the streets of New York, what's going on here? So this was kind of wild, boys, this exchange.
For me, this kind of paid homage to the Spider-Man, the video games, because we do get lots of tanks and stolen like government vehicles, and you're chasing them through town. And I could see myself playing this game and landing on there and pulling the turret off with the webs and swinging it around. Like you can. It was amazing to incorporate that into this movie. And even the scene like right before that where he jumps off the building and he's like free diving down.
Cool.
And then you get and you get the POV like over the shoulder of him just like
the game.
Just like the game, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah. I was literally sitting in the theater with Courtney and I literally leaned over to her. Or no, she said to me, she was like, it looks just like the video game. And I was like, yeah, like even from the beginning of this movie, you could tell like the way it is shot is different.
Yes.
It literally looks different, feels different, like it's darker, like the screen, like just literally was like not super bright.
I was going to ask y'all about that because I went to a not a great theater, and I was talking to some other guys that I knew, and was like, was your screen really dark? And it was like, it was, I had a hard time seeing some things. And I was trying to figure out, is this just crappy theater or if was like how it was filmed? It looked good. Don't get me wrong, but I couldn't figure out which one it was.
I just think it was shot. It was probably a crappy theater, but I just think it was also shot it was like a darker hue throughout it. You know what I'm saying?
Which matched the tone. Like he's
right.
going through it. And I think that kind of helps establish that.
Yeah. I absolutely loved it, man. And yeah, I agree. Like it was just the scene itself, watching him swing. I felt like I was holding my PS5 controller playing for a little bit there.
My son's been playing the second one all week. And like it's been really cool watching that. Like I didn't know why he even picked it up. He didn't go see the movie with me or anything. I guess by osmosis he was dialed in. So I've been seeing it on TV all week.
Nice.
Yeah, and this scene also brought up one of my favorite like but one of my favorite tropes in a Spider-Man movie, which is something that you generally that's pretty unique, honestly, to just Spider-Man movies, more than any superhero movie. It's the love that New York City has for Spider-Man. Like with the one guy, he lands on the guy's car, and the guy's just like, "Let's go!"
I
like,
got you.
I got you, Spider-Man.
like I love the scenes. Like even going back to some of the honestly in Amazing Spider-Man when the cranes come out and that just that scene gets me when they to give him the pathway to get to the building that he needs to get to, and of course all the ones from the original ones, whether it be the one on the moment on the train. Right. Or the one that's on the bridge in the original Spider-Man movie. I love that. I don't know. It's just it brings faith back into humanity. I think it's part of the reason why it's because so much of the superhero life is lots of times connected to having an adversarial relationship with the city that you're helping. The city always seems to be generally either doesn't care about you or specifically does not like you. Whereas there's just this.
But how much of that was because of the memory wipe? And I'm not disagreeing with you because that goes through all the Spider-Man movies. But in this one, it was very specific to you just had J. Jonah Jameson, the only voice that was against him, and everyone else was so pro Spider-Man. I think it's because the last 4 years, he's just been in his bag, just working.
Yeah.
And it hasn't screwed up. He's so focused on it. So he's probably given the best version of himself in 4 years, and the people are just
they're loving it. And then they even say he dropped the crime rate to low, super low. It was just basically it was just everything was a glow up. And just the fact that even his relationship with the detective and his relationship with the police, they were just okay.
Yeah.
When he was around, he was just one of the team essentially.
Yeah. And it's funny you bring up the love for Spider-Man, and then in this same exact scene, you get the introduction of the Punisher. Frank Castle shows up, and he is blowing up the city in order to stop these bad guys. And so, Frank doesn't love the city as much, and Spider-Man has to actually confront him. He takes away his grenade launcher, but then Frank pulls out another one. Which I love that scene was amazing. But then Spider-Man knows that he is a problem, but even though he's trying to help, and he ends up breaking the van's window and kicks him all the way out the back, which I thought was pretty bold on Spider-Man's move to mess with the Punisher like that.
Yeah, but and really because of that, the tank ends up because of that delay, the tank does end up making it to the prison. Yeah, which maybe would have made it there anyways. But it was cool seeing Punisher, dude. You just you see this rocket, this grenade fly by Spider-Man right away, and you're like, oh, we got someone else at the party. And it's I'm sitting in these movies, and it's I know Punisher's in it, but I forget until I see him, and then I'm like, oh, I'm all excited. The crowd, the audience is getting wild. So anyways, tank gets to the prison. It, flips, breaks the wall. People are escaping. And you see the driver of this tank is just some old lady. And even Spider-Man's
armed and dangerous.
Ma'am, please exit the tank. And then you start to see the villain begin to... I didn't know what was going on. Later, Peter talks about it like possessing people, which that's pretty good. But ultimately, we know it was some telepathy, mind reading, and just taking over people's bodies. So I guess that's possession. I don't know. But Peter didn't know how to think of it, And from the jump, I'm literally watching. I'm thinking, how in the world is he gonna? How do you fight that? For the first act of the movie, I was literally thinking, how is he going to figure this out?
I had the same thought. I was like, this is really interesting.
Yeah. Might be above his pay grade here.
Yeah.
One of the things that was most interesting to me about it was about when he was trying to I was wondering why he was trying to do so much math. That was one of the things I was why he was okay, analyze the jumps and things like that. That was one thing that I was like, what's he trying to get at here? With that, and then of course he comes to the conclusion that she has that there are limitations. That it can only jump so far. So I thought that was a really interesting way of him using his scientific brain and his Evie, I think is what it is, to help break down and solve a problem and make the situation better.
Yep. But at first he didn't know, so he goes and gets some advice from Yelena, which was wild. So first of all, getting into a pool with,
Lawrence Pugh.
Dude,
the naked Yelena. Like, all right,
listen, naked Yelena
Spider-Man.
was not on my bingo card this entire year at all.
Yeah, it's
And
definitely
dude,
not my phone background right now.
Watch, yeah, exactly, dude. Listen, watching him walk out of like the stall with his mask on,
Dude,
Well,
he
he's
is
just all nervous.
ripped. He
for
is
sure.
Me and Shimado were talking about it because Spider-Man in this one is Shimado's phone background right now.
Yeah.
how freaking ripped like Tom Holland was in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, like I was like, oh, like I love the fact that like I was as soon as he went in, I was like, there's no way his mask is coming off. I was like, he's gonna come out with just the mask on, and it was exactly what he did, and it was just
so good,
it was,
good.
Yes.
And guess what? That will be a suit in the next Spider-Man game. I
For sure.
promise you.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I promise you. Just
With,
the towel.
like, with or without the towel. Okay, the towel has to be
I
on
think
there.
the towel has to be on
I agree.
with the mask. Yeah, that will be a
Honestly,
suit to unlock.
the aerodynamics will be hilarious to see it like on the towel, like as it's
Yeah, like
as
flapping in
he's
the wind.
yes, as he's going and stuff like that. It'll be pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, I agree. But that was Yelena's office, and she was able to kind of relay that there's been break-ins and for damage control facilities, and VMAX has been a word that's been thrown around
Yes.
multiple times.
And I
we
love
will
the
get to VMAX.
I love the fact that the way that she's just like up playing New Avengers and stuff like that. It's just all you're small potatoes.
Small potatoes.
Maybe
Which is kind of like, if you're on Reddit boards, you kind of talk about the difference between, there's some villains that are, like even later on, Spider-Man tells Frank, like, this is way out of your league, right? Like, there's just levels
Yeah.
to these
Yeah.
things, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't be shooting Hulk in the face. That's the Hulk, like,
Yeah.
which
I mean,
we will get to.
he lit him up, but did not let him.
Yeah. There's
Right.
lots of times like Marvel kind of splits it up to like street level, and then like
Street level.
it's kind of how they're like usually referred to, and those are like your guys like Daredevils. Spider-Man's like the top tier of that, like that level, but like Punishment would be down there. A lot of people, pretty much like the people you saw like in the Defenders would be your street level dudes, like your Iron Fist, your.
But
Luke
then there's
Cage.
enhanced. There's like people who are super powered. It's like the mid grade, and then there's cosmic, who are like, dude, those people.
Yes,
are super,
those.
super powered,
yes.
right. And Frank, Yelena to some extent. That's why I always love the idea of like back in the day, Black Widow showing up with like a pistol.
Yeah.
And just like
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress. That was cool seeing Yelena. But let's get back to Peter. He is, he's still struggling with, he's trying to figure out what this VMAX thing is and what's going on with damage control. But he's also still struggling with just his friends. He actually goes to a party at Ned and MJ's place. I think they're roommates.
Yes,
they're
they are.
roommates. Yeah.
Okay.
I love how he just like sees Ned, and then he's like, "I'm gonna follow him. I'm gonna find out where he actually lives
on the
and then-
train."
Yeah, and then he actually just walks right on in. I mean, yeah, if you're having a big party like that, with
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
so
the
many
door's
people,
just
you're
open.
you're fine with that.
Yeah, like that's just how it is.
Right.
I just love how he stumbles in on the board with this Ned trying to solve who Spider-Man is.
Yes.
Like it's that crazy Always Sunny in Philadelphia style.
Yeah,
portrait.
very much so.
Yeah.
It's very Charlie.
I'm not weird or anything.
Yeah.
Yes, he literally says
Yes.
it twice. It was so good. But yeah, it was also, MJ's there. He's got the flowers. He comes up with a fake name. There's a lot happening here. He sees MJ kiss her boyfriend. There's just a lot going on.
She specifically says friendly neighbor. You're the friendly neighbor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
And Tom Holland does kind of give her like the like what?
Like what? No,
Yeah.
like yeah.
And I can't remember if it was at this point. Yeah, because actually maybe it was before the party. He's still. So I'm going to digress a little bit. Well, actually, anything else you guys want to say about the party and just kind of him being there and the awkwardness of that?
I mean, I just think the him trying to force himself into the relationship with them, even though he spent 4 years away from it. I thought that was like it was believable, like his desperation.
Yeah.
You could see like he was yearning for something that he could not have, and he was trying to see if he could have a little taste of it.
Yeah, and I think it was also because it was easier for him to just be like hands off when they were off in Boston. But now that they're back, it was like they were too close. It was too coincidental. Like honestly, to tell you the truth, if you had a friend who like that situation, like I know it isn't realistic, but like and they literally walk into the place that you're at, like there is like that is you have to be in your mind like there's something cosmic happening here. Like this is meant to be for me to follow him to go to this party. They are literally in the same, like we're in a city of 8 million people and he just happens to walk into the place that I am randomly in.
I know. I said the same thing to Courtney. I was like, in New York, too. Like, think of how crazy that is. Just so many people. But anyways, before he got there, he did go to damage control a few times in this movie. The first time it was peaceful, right? He goes to damage control, and he's trying to figure out what this VMAX thing is. And he literally is going, dude, right when he goes through that scanner, I was like, dude, they're going to make you take that mask off. And sure enough, they have this whole scene where they're like trying to get him to take this mask off. And he's like, guys, I can't. And thankfully, Milchick comes and saves him, which was great.
Yes.
Milchick.
Yes. Oh, dude, man. What did you guys do when you saw him walk in? Dude,
I'm so excited to see him. He needs to be in everything. Every single property of anything.
So good.
He's amazing.
It was a very weird scene because, generally in the MCU so far, damage control has been shady. Like
obviously shady, too.
Yes, very much so. Like everything that we saw in Miss Marvel, everything we saw in Wonder Man was all of them being shady. And then all of a sudden there's this like positive light brush that's being played on them in this movie. And even the fact that like when he comes out and he's like, oh no, he doesn't have to do that. He doesn't have to take off his mask.
Yeah.
Like it coming out to save the day, like lightening everybody's like tensions in that moment are very like you're like there's a weird feel here.
Let me
like,
give you a tour.
Trying to win him
Let me
over.
show you what's going on. And he's like, here's our weapons. We take something that
literally
was
shows him
used
the
for
shocker
damage and use it for good. And I'm like, okay, all right. He's gaslighting this guy.
He somehow made the Foot Clan good. Like
the Foot Clan,
yeah,
the Ninja Turtle Foot Clan.
That's right, baby.
Or the Hand.
The Hand.
Oh, the Hand.
Yeah.
Come on.
I knew it was an appendage.
It was. Yeah. There you go.
They did steal it from Daredevil, so you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just standing there, and the Hand's just standing there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, let me speak Japanese real quick." How cool is that Milchick knows Japanese too.
Yeah,
so,
I know. What was his name though? And I forget his name already.
Bill.
Yes.
Bill what? Metzger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's right. And honestly, like I think we're gonna be seeing more of him. You know what I'm saying? They kind of.
He was
we'll get
great.
back to that. We'll get back to that later. But yeah. So he kind of reaches a dead end there. So he's trying to figure things out. That's when he sees Ned. He goes to his party, and then honestly, he has like a mental breakdown. He sees MJ kiss her boyfriend, has a panic attack, and it's just kind of 4 years of pain, like you said earlier, Amato. And then the cherry on top is the woman he loves is moved, and and I guess you think he'd have to always know this would happen, but I guess him seeing her kiss her boyfriend and. He spirals. And how would you guys explain what happens next? I mean, he just has a panic attack and loses all control of his body and
like goes through spider puberty.
Yes, spider puberty, literally.
Yeah,
yes.
it's similar to that, and it kind of like makes you think like, what is the trigger for this? Is it just because the spider DNA is like doing something in there? Like there were a couple other ideas that kind of threw up in my mind. Was it literally just because of MJ? Was it because of that situation, his own imbalance in like his emotions in his mind? And then the real wild card was like, I don't know, maybe it has something to do with like, is there a possibility it could be something to do with Tobey Maguire, his interaction with Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man? Because of a glitch somewhere in there like that, because of the fact that he had he's getting natural webs instead of Peter too. But yeah, so like I was like, well, like that was one of the things that was also running through my mind. Is there something to do with that? Is there some sort of crossover like effect to deal with like the multiverse where like it's the universe is kind of trimming up some things and things are kind of mixing and causing him to have the natural webs?
My take on that, and the way I kind of saw it play out, was that the traumatic event of him like seeing his friends again in person, because they were away for 4 years, so he didn't have that actual like in-person interaction. Him seeing that was so overwhelming, and he realized how much he was hurting and feeling inside, and that it kind of was like a trigger of the DNA, and like the arachnid DNA was like evolving and taking over more of like a primal, more of a, I don't know, more of a feral type evolution, and that's what took over.
And they literally did say in the movie that essentially something weird can happen to spiders when they are left in isolation.
That's right.
So like that's kind of what they're kind of saying is like this part of his DNA was not meant to be isolated. And so it is doing what it does, you know.
And he chose to not have a release in his normal life and like live like a normal human being.
Yeah.
And so therefore his body is adapting and it's like, oh, you're not going to be fully human, then you're going to start being more
more like a spider. Yeah.
And we see him in the cocoon.
Well, before that though, this happens first. Yeah. So go ahead. The cocoon. He's in the cocoon. He just that was crazy,
dude. Just watching him fall, like the stunt double who did that was just it had to been painful for sure. Like the clank fall on the floor, just bad. But then he crawls into the basement and steals that girl's top. And
yes,
amazing. We got a good laugh in our theater. With
those are classic. Those are classic Spider-Man, just like funny moments.
Yes,
that was so perfect. It was right on the nose in this movie. But he's trying to figure things out, doing a lot of research. There's this epic documentary about spiders playing that you guys caught the voice of Keith David, right?
Yeah, Keith David. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, good. Just making sure you guys caught that because that was amazing hearing him doing the documentary. So he's now in the MCU, so I'll drink to that. That's awesome. But he's just trying to figure out these. He has an interesting idea about there's two different kind of DNA cells or whatever in this where I'm going to sound like a true idiot not knowing the science behind this. But he's trying to suppress one strand of his DNA. So of course he thinks, oh, I should go talk to Dr. Banner.
Yeah.
Because Bruce has dealt with this, right? And this scene was great. Another like getting a good Easter egg of Bruce Banner teaching class. He's answering questions about the Avengers, which was great. We should talk about that. But then you even see it in like Bruce's understanding, like you're not a student. Like he knows he's asking something and he doesn't know who he is, right?
Yeah.
So what you guys think of seeing Dr. Banner?
Well, I mean, that classroom scene in general, when he starts taking the Avengers questions and then he lets the one kid answer the question and he just stands up and says, Hulk smash. And I'm like, dude, he knows how to have a good time. Like
that dude dresses like that every day. Think about that.
It's amazing. It was a good
hoping
scene.
to get called on. Like that's honestly all that was.
Yeah.
Like that's all it was because he was just there. He was just sitting there naturally. But yeah, it was really interesting seeing like how they played out in their interactions because essentially it was set up to where Banner was essentially saying like this can work if you're willing to completely shut it down. But like what Peter was trying to do was he was trying to get even deeper. He was wanting to pick and choose. Whereas Banner was just like, just don't want any of it. So like it's an easier path to like close a door, completely. Whereas Spider-Man's wanting to like choose, where he wants the door to open, where he wants to close. And like all these things that are like intertwined, and he brings up Dr. Banner brings up a very good point of like, well, how do you choose what are the good and what are the bad?
That's right.
Like so, it's a very
and doesn't when he's talking to Bruce, Dr. Banner, doesn't he mention either the word mutation or mutated genes? I feel like I heard him say the M word.
He did.
Yeah.
Which is now that's only happened once, I believe, in the MCU. I believe I'd have to really think about that.
Miss Marvel for sure. Yeah,
Miss Marvel for sure. Right. Like a direct reference, and honestly, knowing what he creates, this inhibitor, it's like okay. Somebody's going to get their hand on this technology, and this is going to be a big. This is going to one little thing that spreads into this massive problem for mutants moving forward.
Yeah. Honestly, I think the reason why they did a double episode of the X-Men '97 show is because of this connection. Because if in this previous, for anyone who's watching X-Men '97,
don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
There's some interactions there that involve the idea of inhibiting.
Yeah, don't spoil for all the people who haven't seen X-Men '97. I'm sure there's listeners who.
But I did think that there's a reason why they put this here.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
I think so. But it was great seeing him go find Dr. Banner, talking about that. But even in that moment, I knew something was up. But when he leaves, You know, I'm trying to think at what point does so obviously we come to find out, which we're gonna talk a lot. I mean, we are gonna talk a lot about Jean Grey. Okay, we are 40 minutes in. We haven't even mentioned her by name, and I just did. But before we talk about her, the unknown villain is still wreaking havoc, right? Spider-Man ends up talking to some black dude in the street. At first, Spider-Man thinks it's just another fan, and he's like, "You still don't sense me, huh?" And it's just like, dang, dude, whoever this villain is just like toying with him. And then this is the whole scene of, again, it's Jean. We know it's Jean now, but in the moment, we didn't know. Jean is saying, you know, I know your name. He says, Peter. I know about MJ. And it's just like, dude, what the heck is going on? But then you see her in her, like, hooded leather jacket or whatever she was wearing in his apartment, discovering all these details, connecting dots. Because she hasn't been able to get into his mind, which, by the way, we didn't mention that earlier, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
That, you know, he hasn't, like, she's been able to get into everyone's mind, and she's, like, fascinated by that, you know?
Yeah.
Did they ever get into why?
No, they never really explained why.
They don't.
I mean, I don't care, but it was.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I just missed it, but they never.
She gets in. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, he lets her in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he lets her in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I thought she
he
became more
just-
powerful and just forced her way in. But you're right. He does let her.
Ah.
He does let her.
He
You're
lets
right.
her.
Yes.
Yeah. That was epic.
It was consent.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
It was.
There
Yep.
were some sparks flying. We could talk about that later, too. But, dude, so this whole scene, okay? Like, who's going to get to MJ first?
It was pretty something.
Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he finally gets to MJ. He saves her, but she's already MJ, and he doesn't know it.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was
Guys,
so
can
good.
Can we talk about this for a moment?
Yeah, dude. Okay, so he's got her on the roof, isolated, and she's I feel like I know you or something like that. Like, and Peter's taken aback.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I just have to find out. And then like she kisses him, and then she rips his mask off, and she's like, Peter, and dude, Tom Holland breaks,
Yeah.
like insane breaks, and tearing and like convulsing, crying, really sobbing,
Mhm.
and then she just hits him with a line.
That was
Yeah.
so.
Oh my
that
gosh!
was
Like,
so freaking good.
yeah, she's like, you think you really fell for that? Like, you think
Okay.
MJ would throw up in her mouth if?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys know, like, I was pretty convinced, like, that was too easy.
Yeah.
I think that's already...
There were hints,
Whoever the villain
for
was,
sure.
you know?
Like like just the fact that how quickly she went with him,
And how and she wasn't scared of
yes,
of swinging.
exactly. She wasn't scared of swinging, like she was just
That's a good with
catch,
it. Jordan.
Yes.
That's a good catch. Yeah.
that was that, and then but yeah, it was, and just I don't know, it was just it definitely felt off a little bit. There were
Doesn't make it any less brutal. Like, what she did to Peter is just so wrong.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
honestly, it's very
it's-
messed up.
so messed up. But again, she is kind of like, for one, she can't get into his mind, so that's probably annoying her. And he's the only one, like, he said VMAX. He's like, why are you looking for VMAX? And when she is one of the people on the street, she's like caught off guard by that.
Mhm.
She's like, how would he know that I'm searching for VMAX? So I think she is equally frustrated that she cannot get a hold of Peter. So she's like, all right, she's desperate, is what I'm trying to say.
So,
I'm
yeah,
going to
she-
go
she
threaten
messed
to
with
kill the woman he loves. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I do want to know how she got there. I don't
I've got
care
a
that
dark
much.
theory.
I have the same dark theory.
Got a very dark theory.
Yeah.
Oh God.
You want to go first, Justin?
The guy she was in just jumped out of the helicopter when he
That's
got close
exactly
up to
right.
the ground.
Oh
She switched.
man.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
and she already killed at least one person. That she backed up. You led to believe the guy that got run over by the van is dead.
Well, yeah.
In the
Yeah.
street.
She walked back into the street. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
insane
So
too.
I think she jumped out of that helicopter, and when she got close enough to catch into someone else, she did, and that guy just died.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
Okay.
that's very possible. That's what happened. But we also we've seen them kind of like just come back. When she was sitting with her sister, she just kind of
That's true.
Where was her physical location? Is what you're saying? Like she could have been driving while hopping at the same time and got close to MJ and then snapped back and then went in MJ. That's also a possibility.
Yes.
I like that.
She could have just like backed into her body and then just restarted.
Which
the cycle.
let's go with that one, because then that dude is like, wait a minute.
Yeah,
What
that
is
guy is
going
like,
on?
yeah, we just solidified his death like on this
Yes.
podcast. So yeah,
Yes.
how about that?
So
Then, like,
anyways,
she provokes him and she gets to the edge and is like he ends up triggering his arachnid form and he starts to strangle MJ. which is
Yes.
insane. First off, like that's how his body is losing itself.
That's right.
And he completely loses it and it starts strangling MJ, which I that scene was intense for me. And
I know. I didn't know what was about to happen there.
Yeah.
But she like tries to, I think, she tries to kill MJ basically, but maybe she always knew he would catch her. I'm sure she thought that. I don't know.
Honestly, it does kind of lean more towards she just let the guy die in the helicopter idea.
Yes.
She's just like, you know what? I just have to get close enough to the ground where I'm able to jump to somebody else. If he catches MJ, cool. If he doesn't, then it is what it is.
Yep.
So, but then this is the moment where, she leaves MJ. She gives the note back to Peter. Peter basically says, I'll help you, whatever you need. And that's what she needs because he has been able to get into damage control. I think she wants to use him in some way. And then she drives off. And this is where we see her face for the first time. And I still didn't know what the heck was going on. Now, I will say this. I didn't know. I always stay away from rumors the closer we get to big movies. So I didn't know about, what's this girl's name?
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
Sadie Sink. I didn't know about, I've heard that she was cast. I remember on this podcast we were talking about it, but I don't think I remember talking about it for this specific movie. So I didn't know. I don't know. I wasn't connecting dots. But later on, Peter takes MJ to Frank's house, which was great.
His houseboat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the booby traps everywhere.
Everywhere. Yep. And he's able to, avoid everything because of his like reactions, and it was amazing. But he's like doing, investigative stuff, and the big reveal for me at least. I don't know if you guys it was so obvious to you, but when he said we got a name and it said Jean Grey on that computer, I was losing my mind in the theater.
It had me hyped.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so excited. Can we just talk about this for a moment? The fact that they introduced Jean Grey in like an incredibly epic way.
Yeah, they for sure did. It explained why she was able to use telepathy and jump through, and like in the way that they are introducing her as like a younger version of her, because we're always used to seeing the older version of Jean Grey, more mature, who has already faced her struggles and trials. Like this is her like attempting to figure out how to use her powers and make things right, and she's doing it on her way, which she hasn't had the teachings of Professor Xavier yet to keep her from pushing the boundaries and pushing the lines. And so like introducing her at this point in her life, which we haven't seen yet in any iteration, it's been great to see. Like I love it.
And I think it's really interesting seeing her be more aggressive and less submissive, which is something we really saw in like the original like series, even with Sophie Turner's version of it. She was just always almost afraid of herself so much.
Yeah.
And like it was interesting seeing her just be out there and be aggressive about using her powers. It was a different version of her for sure, but it was interesting and different being able to see her like that.
Yeah, I think it was with the powers, like it's, to steal Yelena's term, is like small potatoes at this point. Like she's using her powers to like jump from person to person,
right?
When like we know how powerful she becomes.
Yeah, seeing her as small potatoes right now has been great.
Yeah, literally at one point. So later on in the movie, when she's the flashback to her and her sister, she's asking about how to do it and like, could you do X, Y, and Z? And her sister's like, well, one day if you got like really good. And I looked over at Courtney, I was like, she's gonna get really good.
Yeah,
If we're really powerful or whatever she said, it's like, yeah, that's gonna happen.
When they showed Jean Grey on there, like I took my my 12-year-old daughter, who is not really a superhero fan. Like when they showed Jean Grey, I leaned over, I was like, oh, dude, that's Jean Grey. She was like,
huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Dad,
Like,
what is wrong with
Dad?
She'd watch the 20-minute YouTube video of like, watch this before you watch Brand New Day. She was like, all right.
Yeah, dude. And like I had friends. By the way, my theater experience, 1:45 showtime in Birmingham, Alabama, at one of the worst theaters, and it was packed. All right, so don't tell me Marvel ain't back, okay? Although I do think Spider-Man is just like fail-proof, so whatever.
Yeah.
But I had friends there who like I got really excited when I saw Jean Grey's name, because I was literally, when I saw the little girl, I was like, who the heck is this little girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? And she got a private driver. What's happening? I don't know what was going on. And then when he said we found a name and it showed Jean Grey, I literally was like, oh my gosh! Like I started clapping and getting excited. And I heard one of my friends be like, why is T-Roll excited? And then another friend had to explain to him, like, dude, this is like a big deal. But let me say, let's talk about this for a second. I really do want to say this. The fact that they are introducing, hands down, one of the biggest characters in like all of Marvel and one of the most powerful people, period, in a Sony film, in a Spider-Man movie, right?
Yeah.
Like it keeps us as the audience on our toes, in my opinion, in a way that really gets me excited for like anything's possible. Like the fact that Sony would allow that. You know, you've seen Doctor Strange and Iron Man and these Sony blended Spider-Man movies.
Right.
But an introduction of a mega character like this, I that's why I was like, I cannot believe I'm watching this. Like, I really couldn't. I was so excited.
Big potatoes, man. That was big potatoes.
Yeah.
Right there.
Big potatoes.
Big
Elena
potatoes.
don't know it yet, but it's big potatoes.
Yeah, I
Okay.
was
Go
talking to somebody while we're on that. Like I was talking to somebody at work today about this, and like there's so much out there about the reboot of X-Men.
Right.
So it's kind of weird that they put her in this because it's like, are they going to reboot once they get past like Secret Wars? And like, will she be involved in that? Because like they're, obviously they're right now, a bunch of the casting stuff's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I did think like the timing of it's kind of weird because I would hope they wouldn't reboot her because awesome casting.
Yeah. Well, I think when we get to the end of this, when we talk about what's to come, I think I have a way to talk you into that.
Ooh.
So yeah,
Got some
We'll get
theories
there.
on that.
We'll get
Okay.
there.
Stick around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang tight, guys.
Yeah, and I want to say one last thing about like the boat scene with. It was amazing seeing, Peter come to life for the first time in the movie.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden he was like his version of himself from the previous.
That's so true,
Yeah,
Amato.
it's good.
like it really just builds like how important MJ is to his life, like in general, and just his connections with his friends and everything like that. Just finally seeing him smile and be able to be like happy in a moment, even if it was just for a brief moment. You get to see him like literally he was alive for a moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even with a little curtain, like he hadn't felt, dude, he has not felt that way in 4 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think with just like Tom Holland and Zendaya specifically, like I mean their chemistry,
It's
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it is.
I wonder how they're that good on screen together. It
I
doesn't
don't
make
know.
sense to me.
They must hang out a lot.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, they were both in the Odyssey too.
That is true,
That's probably it.
and that's why like John.
That's
Bernthal,
probably
like,
it.
That's why they're good too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
That's what it
that's a
is.
good
They're having quite a July right now.
I'm
So-
over here thinking like, all right, what does Marvel have to do to get Christopher Nolan to do,
Oh man.
you know? Can you imagine? All right, I'll stop dreaming. Also, I want to say, obviously, our listeners are probably realizing this. Like, this is a long podcast, and I remember when we did the No Way Home pod, super long because
Yeah.
Spider-Man just brings it out of us. There's so much to talk about, so we're going long today, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle up.
Did you just give our listeners an intermission break right there?
I sure did. Yeah, pause it. Go get a snack. You're probably listening to this while you're driving. That's fine. But listen, while they're at Frank's boathouse, like there's so much good interaction with Frank too, and he is so good, man.
Yeah.
John
Bernthal's
Bernthal is
amazing.
like the
Yeah.
perfect Punisher. The way they're interacting, he's like, I got one rule, and then he explains all these rules, and then MJ's like, so you have 3 rules, and he's like,
Yeah.
I see why you like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then she tells Peter, like, I like him. He's like, you would. Yeah, that's so good.
I had forgotten to watch the Punisher special,
Oh,
and so I literally woke up like in a panic yesterday morning. I was like,
okay.
Thinking that it
crap.
mattered.
I was like, I have not watched this. I need to watch it. You're right. It did not matter. But I was riding high off of a Punisher. It was like, that was awesome.
Okay.
So I went into
so
it
good.
with a pretty cool like viewpoint on him.
Okay.
It was helpful, but I was worried
Yeah.
for a minute.
But anyways, he realizes he has to go to damage control because we got a hit on her face. She's at damage control. So Peter goes there. He tells MJ to stay. By the way, I noticed he put that note to the right of his laptop, and I was like, that's a bad idea.
Yep.
Sure enough,
Yeah.
comes back to bite him later. We can get to that in a moment. But anyways, we get this incredible scene at damage control. A lot happens. So I'm just going to breeze over it, and then we can talk details. Okay?
Go for it. Yeah.
She shows up, and there's already a ton of havoc that has been, like, the building alarms are going off everywhere. What's his name again? Metzger?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Metzger.
Why am
Bill.
I having a hard time remembering? I just want to say
Milchek.
Milchek.
It's Milchek.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I just
fine. You can.
no, it's not fair.
Bill.
Bill. Bill locks himself and a couple of guards in the vault. still, and we didn't know this at this point, but we later find out that he really doesn't know what VMAX is, which is kind of sad and funny at the same time. But he's locked himself in this vault, and Peter shows up. He's got the inhibitor, but there's another character as well.
Yep.
And again, I'm going to say, just like with the Jean Grey reveal, I have not watched trailers in months. I have not looked at anything. And I did not know about the Hulk. So I don't know if you guys did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did they show, was there stuff of like, not Dr. Hulk or
in the first
Dr.
trailer,
Banner?
there really wasn't a lot of Hulk. There was not. But the second trailer that we've all saw, except for you, the Hulk was featured. And so,
like the real Hulk.
Like Mega Hulk.
The
like
Savage Hulk.
Ragnarok Hulk.
8'5", yep.
Yes.
8'5" Hulk.
This is stronger than Ragnarok Hulk. Yes.
See, this is where I'm like, I had the most pleasant experience yesterday watching this movie because I didn't know about Jean Grey or the Hulk.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad.
I know, but why doesn't Marvel do that, man? Like, why? They don't have to sell people on a Spider-Man movie.
Good point. Great point. Yeah. They're going to come no matter what. So why give them all that?
I get it.
They did a really good job with Jean Grey, though.
Oh, I think Sadie Sink was just a vault. Like, she didn't say anything.
Yeah, but like everyone kind of knew, like redheaded girl, like they're not going to bring in an actress like her to be just some
Mary Jane. She could have been the actual Mary Jane, but
dude. But even the Hulk, like, we haven't seen the real Hulk since Thanos just wiped him clean. Okay,
right.
Yeah.
So, like, the moment that Peter realizes that his inhibitor is broken, I was literally like, oh.
He was like, I didn't know you could get this big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. And he's like, again, Frank is like shooting him in the face, and then later Peter's like, that's the freaking Hulk.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? And then when they talk about a plan, and Punisher's like, I'll go do this. He's like, you're just trying to avoid the Hulk, aren't you? He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which isn't any better because now you're gonna go deal, like, she's clearly gonna take you over, bro.
Well, yeah, we saw that coming a mile away. That's for sure.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't know. It makes me think, like, maybe I just need to stop watching trailers.
Dude, it sounds like you had an incredible time. But see, the funny thing is, like, we did too. But we knew it was coming. But you got that blindsided experience, which is also phenomenal.
Dude,
That's a great
Ignorance
feeling.
is bliss.
Yeah.
I might stop watching.
T-Bro.
I know, man. I might stop watching trailers, dude. I'm serious, man. Plus, I'm kind of at the stage of life where I don't have time to keep track of this
I
stuff.
mean, you already don't watch that many like movies, so why stop there? Like, why watch trailers?
Good point. I wouldn't watch these things if it wasn't for this podcast. Just kidding. I'd watch this stuff, but some of the other stuff. Anyways, the fight was wild. We're literally seeing, like, Justin, you know this because my mother-in-law has been texting you and me talking about the hypothetical question of Spider-Man versus
text
the Hulk.
me.
No, she didn't. Yeah, the Spider-Man versus the Hulk debate.
Is that because people have known about the Hulk being in this movie, I guess?
Yes, that is exactly why, T-Roll.
Yeah.
Dude, I completely missed that. This has been happening for like a month now.
Yeah.
This text thread, and I just didn't know. But anyways, I guess we got our answer.
Well, I mean, the Hulk gave up. Just to let you know. Like, the Hulk, he literally looked at Peter and was like, okay, we are friends, and I will let go, and I will fall down. And so the Hulk gave himself up.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm just glad we got another no banner only Hulk, just like we got in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. Easily, man. It was great.
Oh man. I love the Hulk. He's so cool. But anyways, there was they finally get, like, because of Frank, they get into, what's it called, the vault or whatever. He had these really crazy bombs. They get in, but it didn't go Jean's way. Okay, so the inhibitor gets on her. How did Spider-Man get the inhibitor on her? He was just like,
He
really
flew
fast.
over her head. Yeah, he flew over her head and stuck it on her neck.
Clipped it right
She
on.
was finally had seen her goal of catching
Yep.
Bill, that she was not aware of Spider-Man being there, I guess. Oh, by the way, when she takes over Frank, I love that they were like, she's like, whoa, this dude has problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
that was epic. Yeah.
I like when she just walked by and was like, "Hey, Peter,"
Oh,
like as he was like carrying stuff.
carrying the bombs.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had a little bit of a saunter to him.
Yeah, he did.
Like a little bit. Like he just
A
like
little pep there. A little pep.
you could tell like it was a female presence.
Yeah,
Yes.
She gets
Okay.
tranked. She gets tranked.
She gets tranked. And again, although we were talking earlier, like, who was the villain here? Like, they build it up to be Jean, and she certainly was, for a lot of this movie, causing actual mayhem. But you could, I've watched Severance to know I've watched Severance enough to know that look on Bill's face is like he's up to something. Like,
Yeah.
Like, and then you mix in like, okay, he works for Damage Control, like he's director of Damage Control or whatever he was, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but something's off here.
If he starts dancing, we're in trouble. It's over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. But they take her away. Peter's like, hey, we saved the day. We're good. I'm going to go see my girl. And he gets back to the boathouse, and she's sitting there with the note. So what was going through y'all's mind when you saw this scene?
First of all, I ran into somebody that I go to church with in the movie theater. He comes down, he sits with me. Really cool. He decides to go to the bathroom. He leans over and goes, hey, bro, let me know if I miss anything. So he walks back in, leans over, goes, hey, what'd I miss? I was like, dude, she found the note. She knows everything. He was like, oh.
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Literally the worst time to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a rough time.
Wait a minute. Why is his mask off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just called him Peter.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt like I was getting a little bit of Ted Mosby vibes from Peter at this moment. Like him just like confessing his love to this girl who is
Ted Mosby.
completely not there. Like completely has no connection to him in any way. He's just like, I love you.
How
And
I Met
obviously,
Mary Jane.
I've known you for 5 minutes. Essentially, is kind of what it is.
That
was rough,
Yeah,
man.
like, it was a rough scene.
Dude, when he said I love you, I was like, ooh, buddy.
Yeah, same.
You could have stopped. Like, everything you said up to that point was like, she could probably take, because if it is true, she's going to have sympathy. But then when you said I love you, I was like, oh, not a good call, bro.
Yeah, it was cringeworthy, honestly. But
Then
you felt that secondhand embarrassment too.
She goes,
Yeah.
can you give me a ride home?
I'm telling you, it's
Yes.
it's a Ted Mosby.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
it
it
is Ted Mosby for sure. That's a good shout, Shimada. Oh man, yeah. The ride home was wild, but then she's like, "Hey, do you want to?" She's like, "You want to come upstairs?" I was like, "What is going on here, MJ?"
Made
But-
Ned's life.
Oh, dude, everything with Ned we got in this moment. He's again,
The spider tracker.
I'm not a weirdo. I just, I made this app, and he was like defending himself again, like instantly. But that whole moment when he's like, Spider-Man's like really, really close,
and he looks up,
So-
man. And then they bro out with Legos, and they're just having an amazing conversation, movie references,
Yep.
and it was honestly like you felt that joy that like
Yeah.
that they had in the other movies together.
He was so much lighter. Like you could
Yeah.
just tell, like the way he
He's
was,
back.
his stance, his like just the way he was sitting. He was just so much lighter of a being in that moment.
Yeah, and honestly, like MJ's the real hero here. Like to suggest that
Yeah,
was so
honestly.
sweet of her. Like she didn't need to do that. She had to have been uncomfortable when
Yeah.
he said "I love you." But at the same time, she's like, "Well, I don't really know you, but I also know that you're like Spider-Man." And again, to what you said earlier, Shamato, New York just loves Spider-Man. So I think there's an element of. And like her other friend Ned is obsessed with him, so she's like, "I got it." How
Honestly,
awful of a human would
think
I
she
be if I
bel-
didn't invite him upstairs?
Yeah, I also believe that she literally believes the story, like
Yeah.
wholeheartedly and entirely. She just knows that that's not her journey anymore. Like at this moment, like she knows that there was truth to it, but it is
Dude.
no longer real.
Dude, you know what? You know what Courtney said in the film? We were watching the movie. I think it was during the movie or right after. She was like, "It's just another Gamora," and I was like, "Oh gosh, not again."
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true.
It's
Dean.
crazy, huh? I know. But anyways, okay. So they had some sweet moments. The realization, the connection he makes to like, okay, for when he realizes Bill was lying about Sarah, it was a bit of a stretch to me. I was like, all right,
Martha.
Yeah, dude. Okay.
Why'd you say
Shimano,
that name?
I'm so glad you said that. It wasn't to that level,
Yeah, no,
but it was a
not
little
that.
bit like that was really convenient. Like I know
Yes.
he's really smart, but in his mind, I was convinced that he was convinced that he had solved the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for him to be like that hyper focused on one small detail she mentions, I was like, all right, that felt pretty convenient. But either way, he realizes that Bill is lying to him. He makes the connection. He's connecting the dots. He heads over to, Roosevelt Island, to the prison facility. And we just learn a lot more about damage control here, boys.
Yep. Honestly,
boy, oh boy.
his inner Milchek comes out hard in this
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Like
We are on the severed floor for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. What's the room, like the break room or whatever on Severance, where he's like reading, making them like read back?
Oh,
to him?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it
that's
was.
crazy.
That's what it was. But we do see him interrogating Jean Grey, trying to get information out of her as well. And then he's like, we're going to actually run some experiments thanks to your sister's
Thanks to your sister.
sacrifice.
Dude,
that was rough.
And can I say too, when she is like interrogating him, she's like, "What is VMAX?" I love that they add this detail where he was like, "You are the second person to ask." I don't know what is this VMAX people keep asking me about. And that's when I was really convinced. I was like, "Oh, he has no idea."
Yeah, I love the fact that like he literally has, like, he isn't just hiding it. He literally has no idea what they're talking about. Like it's not fake. It's not it's a ploy. I'm just covering something up. Like, I love that red herring, like this thing that they're talking about. Even like the vault itself being a red herring from the last scene. Like, there was nothing in there.
No,
It was a safe room.
Nothing in the vault.
It's really all it was. And then like the realization and like looking up, and it's like, oh, like this all was like this whole idea of VMAX or whatever it was not on their radar at all.
At all. So, again, I'm going to breeze over what happens, and then I want you guys to talk about the things that really piqued your interest. They start doing tests on Jean, and it was uncomfortable. And at this point, we know, obviously, Jean's been through a lot. She's done some shady things, but if you really think about it, most mutants have done shady things as we gotten to know the mutants over the years, right? So she's done some horrible things to figure out what's happened to her sister. Can't blame her. Now you realize the real villains are damage control. Big shocker there. But when they start doing these tests, I'm like uncomfortable. I'm like, oh man, this is brutal. Like she is trapped. But then you start seeing her, like, her brain activity spike, and I'm literally realizing, like she's about to go nuclear.
Yeah, they're poking
I don't know.
Bear.
They're
Luckily,
make a little mutant.
And you know what's crazy? She didn't even really go that nuclear, comparatively speaking, to what she could do, is what's really scary.
You're right.
You know, like, that's like, we saw, what do we get, like 15% of her? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could get a lot worse.
Yes, very
but
much worse.
She goes into full, like, again, Courtney had said this, she's like, it's like WandaVision again. Like, she creates this entire force field where she's controlling everybody and almost freezing people in motion, literally freezing people in motion and taking over everyone's mind. I mean, just the trauma she's feeling, it does kind of remind me of Wanda when she first has that outburst.
Yes.
And it makes me wonder, like, does she even realize that she did that? Like, she's so hyper-focused on Bill and damage control, and she sees Spider-Man there, but is she as aware of everything around her? I don't know. We'll get to that later. But we also get incredible fight scenes here. Spider-Man's making his way. He's fighting the Hand. Like, there's so much. Where do you guys want to go? There's a lot happening here at Damage Control.
I think like Spider-Man working his way to Jean, I thought you're right. The fight scenes were elevated. And I think we saw some of the best fight scenes in any Spider-Man movie right here during the scenes. And
I think the best.
Yeah, I think, yes, I do agree. The best. One shot in particular was when he's fighting the Hand and he goes up to the second floor. And he does like the web pull and flips, and then he's now walking on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best camera work that I've seen. Like, you actually see the camera rotate the 300 or the 180 degrees, and then he's walking across the ceiling. And it was just absolutely incredible. And then to top that off with the unlock his full natural abilities, and organic webbing is back, and he jumps up and then down and then splits all the webs.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Incredible scene, and the way it was filmed and shot with the up close, you see like the facial expressions as he's doing it. It's just you're feeling it, you're in the moment, and you are absolutely having a time.
Yeah, it was great, and I love the fact that they used the moment to build like character like moments for him, like in like him finally like coming to the realization that he needs to live with himself, and like they're both a part of him now, and that's not just, you know, controlling. You really can't control that part of your nature. Like it is all a part of you, and you must, you know, figure out how to live with it. And honestly, it's very they're running both that storyline along with, you know, his whole dealing with the MJ Ned situation as well. He's also coming to the realizations of those things, because they're parallel storylines. It's like coming to realizations of like who you are interpersonally and who you are in your physiological state as well.
Yeah. Yeah, just great sequence, absolutely great sequence, and
it was epic.
And we need to mention, I don't think we actually mentioned it, but Jean's powers amplified because she was so exhausted. She kind of put her head back and saw that VMAX was was the air vent that her sister saw when she died, and that's why.
So the fact that it was like everything to her, but at the same time nothing.
Yes,
is brutal.
Yeah, I think the fact that it was something so mundane. And like the one thing that her sister was able to get out of her was something so mundane, and it makes everything that her sister like was seem like she died for nothing, because it was something so like
correct,
so simple that it had been one thing like, oh, it's this great program to give like from this or that or the other thing, it was going to save millions of lives or something,
and it didn't go well and she died.
Yeah, like if it had been something like that, you'd have been like, okay, like at least you can be like, she sacrificed herself for something like really big. Yeah. But literally she was just staring at an AC vent.
Yeah. And so that caused Jean's powers to mutate further, and she unlocked a new part of herself, which is closer to the Jean that we know. Fully formed, but she's not quite
more on that later.
Yeah, exactly. But then Peter makes it to her, and she's like about to kill Bill because and she has all those shattered glass like aimed at him, and then that's where Peter invites her into the mind, and we get Aunt May back to have this like emotional sequence. I love how
the Mind Palace.
I love how Jean swaps with Peter, and she's sitting there and just realizing how similar they are, and what Peter has gone through, which is very similar to her, except he had people who cared about him, and was able to show him the way, and she kind of that empathy that she felt for Peter and Peter for her, like it was just I don't know, it was a great emotional sequence.
Yep, I totally agree. Yeah, I'm just everything about this movie is so incredible.
It was just such a great moment of like her just letting go in a moment, like kind of just finally letting her guard down and letting somebody talk to her. It was really good being able to see that.
Yeah, and this is where like eventually, so it's like she took the place of Peter sitting there talking to Aunt May, and then Peter took the place of Aunt May, right, sitting there talking to her, I think. Yeah. Yep. And then she's like, she says at the moment, and again, this shout out to my wife, she was like, were there like sparks flying there? And I was like, kind of. When she said, I'm all alone, and he said, you've got me, I was like, something happening here? What's going on? Peter and Jean Grey? Like, I'm not a big comic book guy, like, but I'm assuming that's not a thing, because she already has a love triangle with, Scott Summers and freaking Wolverine. So I'm assuming that's not a thing, but hey, man, Tom Holland, why not?
I think it was more of like a bonding moment of like, we've both experienced
I don't know, man.
Trauma.
Trauma bonding is what that is, bro. There's something to come from that. I'm sorry. Two attractive, beautiful people going through some stuff. I think something's going to happen there. So
but while she's in his mind, he has the sense to hear the sniper rifle.
Which, by the way, can we just talk about the fact that he somehow knew where to shoot? Is just another
looking through that scope. I was like, what is he looking at right now? Like,
dude, that's what I said.
I kept thinking they were going to zoom in more.
Yeah. Like, I've played Call of Duty enough to know. Like,
you got to see more than that, dude.
You need a little more. You need a little more than that. And he takes a shot to the back, dude.
Gosh, this is why I love the Spidey senses, dude. And again, my wife had said this about the Spidey senses back in the last movie, where when Doctor Strange is doing the thing and he's like, why can't I grab this box? And Peter doesn't even know why. It's just the Spidey sense is that strong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where like, I think that's my only explanation on how Jean couldn't get in there on her own, is that the Spidey sense is somehow that strong. Even now in the moment, when he's talking to her, they're connecting deep in the Mind Palace, the Spidey Mind Palace. He senses the shot, turns, protects her, takes the bullet. Bill is safe. Everyone's free. Jean is now focused on helping him because she feels sympathy for him. And we eventually end up at the hospital, which this was all really awesome too, because you see Punisher, you see Frank carry him in, and you eventually see him without the mask. And I was even wondering, like, oh, I guess people know now. But then they literally made a point for Frank to tell him, you're good. I got you covered. Nobody knows,
Which is perfect.
I don't know how that works, but
I mean, Frank was just around. He's like, I'm leaving this mask on when you operate on this guy. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Imagine telling Frank no in that moment. I don't think so.
Nope, not doing that. Not doing that at all. But the amount of blood coming out of
in your face.
Yeah, the amount of blood coming out of Spider-Man, for a moment I was like, are they about to kill him off right now? Like it was insane. But we do learn that Jean kept him alive using her powers.
No. Can I quote?
Yeah, go for it.
Her voodoo magic ish is what Frank said.
Yes, he did.
Which got like an amazing laugh in our theater. Like that was amazing. Like such a great line.
Yeah, and when Peter comes to, she finally like exhales, like, okay, I'm done holding on to him. Like, because she was, I think she was breathing for him. Yeah. I think she was literally keeping him alive. Yeah,
that's so wild.
Yeah, but when she lets go is when Peter's finally well enough to come to, and that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. Jean is truly that powerful,
dude. She's incredible. Also, when he said, "Don't worry, when you're ready to go, I've got a plan."
This got a lot of laughs. Got a lot of laughs.
I was cracking up with this part.
Well, just as you're thinking he's going to be like sneaking him out, have a gun, something like that. Like something more like Punisher like.
Yep.
But it's just the most. It's a ridiculous like I don't know. Maybe it was a way of Frank like finally feeling like the city actually cares about him or something like that. He's like, oh, for once I can be that person, whereas normally I'm the person that everybody's like, looking sideways at.
Yeah. But we do get the come to fruition of you talking about the city who loves him. Like Peter gets to actually revel in the moment of everyone there appreciating him and everything that he's done. And I love the moment, the brief moment of the boy making eye contact with him, and just like they had that moment, and it just Peter really felt that overwhelmingness of joy.
Can I tell you what that reminded me of in Winter Soldier at the end when Cap is at the museum and he's totally like low key with the hat, and there's a little kid who's like, "Oh my god, that's
actually
Captain America."
Yep.
And he just like puts his finger over his mouth, and the kid's like, "That was so good. It was so good." Also, just Frank in general, like now knowing who he is, right? Like there's only a few people, even at the end of this film, Jean, Frank. We'll talk about Ned in a moment. But there's only a few people who really, and obviously MJ, there's only a few people who know who Spider-Man is. And when Spider-Man's like, "Are you crying right now?" And Frank, dude, the way he blows that off, he's like, "I'm not freaking crying. What do you think I'm crying right now?" It's like super tough guy. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Oh, it was incredible.
But you mentioned Ned.
Let's talk about Ned. Yeah, talk about this, Justin.
When Peter goes back to the shop, he sees Ned sitting there. And at first, he didn't look like he was gonna like interact or do anything again, but he does. He comes back up to him. He's Flower Guy, and he shakes his hand, but he automatically goes into like the friendship handshake. And Ned knew his body muscle memory. He knew the handshake, and it came to him, and he actually was like, "Peter." Tom Holland smiles. Peter smiles, and the movie ends. I'm like,
the movie ends.
Amazing.
It also creates the idea: is Ned working for the DODC?
Whoa, that's what you think? Hold on.
Never got that one time.
Okay,
nope. Stop.
Okay, so why was he in Boston? Number two,
he was going to MIT.
Okay. Number two,
move schools.
He knew the exact way that his web shooters worked, and the DODC just happens to know how to counteract his webs, and Ned knows exactly how that is. Tell me all that's coincidental.
He went to MIT because he studies that stuff.
Okay,
and he's a Spidey fanatic.
Yeah.
No, there's more, guys. You're missing it. No, you're missing it. Damn it! Listen. Okay. Ned is magical. He's special, bro.
He's supreme. Yeah.
He's got sorcerer gifts. You guys are forgetting this. I think there's something unlocking in Ned. They made it look cool with the handshake, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But there's something there that I think Ned is tapping in. Shamato, dude, that's some
Shamato's
cool theories.
You're leaning into the Hobgoblin persona, is what you're leaning into.
Okay, I'm not saying that he's going to go full Hobgoblin, but I believe there is a chance that he was misguided into potentially working out some of that stuff for them.
Amazing theory in the way your mind works, but I don't think so. You can't.
There's too many other tennis balls to chase.
Who made the spell that made everyone forget?
Strange.
Doctor Strange. Dude, let's not forget that freaking Ned is making those circles like it's nothing in No Way Home, and Doctor Strange couldn't do it in Doctor Strange for a long time. I think it's more likely that there's some magical, and my wife has said this before pod, so I'm going to give credit to her, but I think there's something more clear, well, I shouldn't say clear, more likely about like his gifting that is untapped, that was slightly tapped in No Way Home. But at the same time, Amato, I love your theories. It's kind of cool. So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know. There is something there. It's weird. Although I will say, shout out my friend Rosie Johnson from my high school. We had a secret handshake that only we knew and didn't see each other for 10 years. And in our 10-year high school reunion, we just did it. So it's like there's something about secret handshakes that they come back to you, bro. I'm for real. Like
it's pretty incredible.
It's
actually.
Wild.
Yeah.
So.
And then we do get a post-credit scene. The very end.
Boy, do we get a post-credit scene?
Yeah.
So, okay, explain it, and then I want to hear y'all's thoughts on it.
Post-credit scene is the app, and it's the Spidey tracker, and it's saying trying to locate Spider-Man, or found Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden locating Spider-Man, and then it pops up off of Earth, way out
range
into space. Yeah, actually, very impressive range. And then that's it. It ends.
Yeah.
And that right there is a direct setting up for not Avengers Doomsday, but Avengers Secret War, which is
okay. So
still a ways away, 2 movies away.
Hold on. You got to explain that because I think there's a lot of different theories out there. So let's talk about it.
Okay, well, the reason that I'm fully going in with Secret Wars is because of based on the comic book run of Secret Wars, like Dr. Doom gathers all the heroes and villains and teleports them to a place called Battle World. And all the heroes and villains like fight it out. And so therefore, if Spider-Man is transported off-world, it is because Dr. Doom has brought him to Battle World.
So you're saying you think that one of the other, potentially like a Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, is potentially on this location already?
I'm not going with Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. I'm saying this is Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
So Tom Holland has been abducted.
To
they specifically left out like Spider-Man will return.
And then they didn't say which movie.
Yeah, so like, and they haven't confirmed him for Doomsday. So like, I think they skip him in Doomsday, and that was a direct for Secret Wars.
Yes, that's my thought process there.
Okay, can I talk about the mechanics of it? So like the post credit scene is the literal. Okay, maybe not literal. It's the app. Do you think that was just a message to fans, or do you think that was for people holding the app on their phone? They are seeing that.
I think it's a message for the fans. That's what it was. Okay. Yes.
Because those are two way different things.
Yeah, I think it was a message for the fans because I don't see how Ned can develop an app that is tracks somebody off the world. Unless he worked for Damage Control.
No. Well, maybe, but what if there's a whole other Earth incursion coming in? There's another Ned, same source code, same app. You know what I'm saying? Now it's combining because it's not our Peter. Maybe it's Andrew Garfield. Maybe it's Toby. Maybe
Morales.
Maybe it's Miles.
Okay, so and the reason I say that is, did you notice? I felt like I saw the Spider-Man logo being black instead of red.
Oh boy!
In the bottom left corner of the app when it was showing, I felt like I saw that. I could be mistaken, but that was why I was like. There's something weird happening here, like, or even maybe it's a symbiote version of like Venom mixed with like something along those lines. But I felt like I saw the logo change color.
If the logo did change color when Peter goes off world, then that would be a sign that maybe Miles is there in the city while Peter's off world. That would be my only thing if that was the case. Dude, but I'll watch it again tomorrow and I'll verify.
I was gonna say we're an hour and a half in. We got to cut this off. Yeah. You're gonna watch it again. You're gonna let us know. Yep. The one thing I want to say is this is how you do a post-credit scene where it leaves people, dude.
Speculation.
We could spiral into theories for multiple years now because of this literal scene.
Which I'll give you the Jean Grey theory real quick since I teased that. Okay, so Jean is seen like on a bus driving into the north, New York,
Pennsylvania, somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
Probably going to Xavier.
Upstate New York. Sorry.
Yep. And so that's where she's probably going. But you mentioned how like what she incorporated in with the X-Men, that kind of thing, right? Back to Battle World. back to Doomsday, back to these Secret Wars, right? The X-Men we are going to see in Doomsday will be completely obliterated and wiped out, and then any other X-Men will be on Secret Wars on Battle World, completely wiped out, and whatever is left, the remains of Secret Wars, will reboot and completely, like, there will be new characters, new
like
everything.
the Mutant Saga.
Yes. The Mutant Saga will now start.
Yeah, so essentially, the versions of the mutants that
We know
are from another universe are going to be put on a Battle World. That's how we're going to be seeing them. And the mutants, like such as our current version of Jean Grey, are the ones from 616.
Yes, correct. And the ones that we do know of, like we know Mystique, we know Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Xavier, Magneto, we know that they are going to be in Doomsday. We do know that. And what's going to happen is they're going to be used to create stakes and actually be killed off.
All of a sudden, you're going to be like, whoa,
yeah,
they just did this. They just did this.
Yeah.
I would love to see a flashback scene now that we have officially Jean Grey of Josh Brolin as Cable, like seeing his mother.
Oh,
like,
man. That
would be
interesting. Yep. So yeah, there you go. There's the theory.
I mean, we already have Robert Downey Jr. playing two characters, so why not Josh Brolin, right?
There you go.
In the MCU, it could happen. I don't know. I like where that. I like parts of that theory, and this is what's so good and bad about this whole multiverse saga is so many things are possible. So I would love a world where this is our Jean Grey because she's awesome, but, which Professor X do we get? The first one, the second one, the third one? You know what I'm saying? Can we keep Channing Tatum as Gambit? I hope so. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, where are we going to land with not even just X-Men? A lot
Everybody
of other
else.
characters too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Literally, Spider-Man himself. Like, this post-credit scene could be a reference to Spider-Man is no longer Peter Parker. Get it in your mind that it now is going to be Miles Morales, right?
And
there's so many possibilities.
Like Tom Holland, I don't know when he spoke about it, but he's openly said, like, we have a plan for Spider-Man after I am done. Like, there is a succession plan. Obviously, he's not saying what it is, but he said there is a plan already in place for how I move out of this role.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Man. Yep. All right, boys, we've been going for a while. And again, this is the Spider-Man effect. This is what Spider-Man does. He is fail-proof. He is the, safe to say, second biggest superhero after Batman, right? I mean, I think that's pretty well documented. Batman's got to be the biggest superhero still, right, Justin? Looking at you.
How much longer do you want this podcast to go? Who ends the podcast on that question?
No. We're This is the third part of the podcast. But the point I'm trying to make is
can't
people
miss.
Love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You can't miss. The funny thing is, as we have been doing this podcast, I think I have officially. Oh man, it's recency bias, but boys, I really think this is like my favorite one. I'm not saying it's the best one because people can make an argument for others. But
I'm going to say this right now: this is the best Spider-Man movie. Period.
Dude, it's so
it's
good.
about to break records too.
Period.
I cannot wait to see it again. I'm dead serious. Now, at the same time, I don't know if it's better than the second Across the Spider-Verse movie, but that's kind of a different dynamic.
I'm speaking live action.
Speaking live action. That's fair.
Yeah.
Somehow they're going to bring these things together. Or Sony's just going to blow it, but whatever. All right, boys, great time, great conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, friends of the Royal Geek Podcast, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to come back next week. We're going to actually be reviewing some more Marvel content. We're going to be reviewing a couple episodes of the X-Men 97 Season 2, so be sure to check back in for that. Justin, do you want to ask the question to end the podcast?
It's not a question anymore. Marvel is back. It's not Marvel is back.
I love it. Well, we're not far from Doomsday where they can truly prove it. If the Russo brothers in particular land Doomsday, then people are going to have to recognize, you know what I'm saying? So let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. For all my friends, Justin Sandoval, a.k.a. Sandy, Anthony Amato, who we like to call Shamato, and of course the landlord Jordan Mosley. This is T-Roll saying thank you so much for listening to the Royal Geek Podcast. We will see you next time, you peasants.